Good evening, tribe members. Here I am again, fabulous glasses and all. Doing a follow-up tutorial video for someone who asked a great question on my video of yesterday. Yesterday's video about pedigrees and about my expose of that sparked a pretty good thread of conversations, and a good question from a young man said, so how do we find something? You're telling us what not to buy. Well, how do we find something to buy? Well, actually, that's a great question. And the answer is in the thread itself, in that the more you know about what to avoid, the better equipped you are to make a decision about a potential puppy, because every single Doberman that is out there goes back to founders. Their pedigree goes back to founding dogs. So the Doberman breed has an endemic disease called DCM for 70 years. It's endemic. It can't be removed from the breed. And there are several other breeds that have DCM as well. The Doberman, however, is in the most dire straits of about 50 breeds of dogs that utilize UC Davis genetic diversity testing. And I recommend that you all of you, go to betterbred.com and join betterbred.com and read the blog posts about DCM and about purebred dogs and about the Betterbred website, this DCM, this diversity testing, because some of you have other dogs too. Some of you don't just have Dobermans, and all purebred dogs have purebred dog issues. And the Betterbred website is a breeding tool that was created 6 or 7 years ago by a poodle breeder. Her name is Natalie Green Tessier. She's fucking brilliant. I stumbled upon her in my research, doing peer-reviewed article research and just studies of pedigree dogs and the conundrum of the genetic issues that plagues all purebred dogs. There's a ton of tools that breeders can use. They can use a pedigree to make a breeding decision, and they can use a tool called the coefficient of inbreeding. It's a tool that tells you how inbred your dogs are based on how many ancestors are the same in that pedigree. But we have an even better tool now. We have betterbred.com. So any of you that's a breeder of any breed, go to betterbred.com and see if your dogs are listed. The breed that you have is listed. And if they're not, get into it, because diversity testing is huge. This is state-of-the-art science that's going to replace a lot of things that breeders do and don't do if all of the breed clubs were a part of using this tool. But how do you find a good breeder? You find a good, safe breeder in places like that. Betterbred.com lists Dobermans that are using this DNA testing and trying to work towards bettering their breeds. You can also educate in places like Doberman DCM, the Facebook page that has exposed the most egregious offenders by having a website that lists the names and pedigrees of the dogs that are dying of DCM, and a complete expose by the owner about the diagnosis and everything. So Doberman DCM, if you're not a member of that group, you should join it right away and go spend a couple of months there before you pull the trigger on any Doberman puppy, mine or anybody's. And also Doberman DCM Unplugged, that was created about a decade ago by a woman who's pissed off, like me, about this and wanted to expose these greeters, and try to bring them down. She hasn't been successful, but it's a pretty great group and gives you a lot of information and weaponry and education regarding, what to avoid. Now, I'm going to name some breeders that you could research and look into in addition to my own. Now, if you like my dogs, I've got 3 litters coming up, and you can certainly get on a waiting list. Somebody asked me today, how would they get a dog? Well, you fly out here. They're 8 weeks old. You're going to fly out when they're 9 weeks old. They weigh around 18 to 21 pounds, and you fly back with them in a little case, and it's, you just fly back with them. So that's how you're going to do that. But so for those of you that are looking for a dog in your area, first and foremost, do a Google search in your area. I come up #1 breeder in Arizona in a Google search. But I'm going to name some names here. They follow me, okay? They know me, and you can find them on Facebook and contact them directly. These are people that have dogs that I know are well-bred and that I would buy a dog from myself, even if I don't like them. So one of the people who doesn't like me, and I think he's kind of a dick, but he's an amazing breeder, it's Kansa Dobermans, Doug of Kansa Dobermans. He doesn't like me, and I don't care for him either, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't refer him because I have ethics, and not everybody does, but I do. So I would send you to Kansa Dobermans because they're a good breeder. They breed like crazy, tons of litters all the time, because that's what they do. Benchmark Dobermans in the Midwest. She's got working lines. She's not crazy about me. We were friends at one time, and you know how that happens. People fall out. And but she is reputable now. She started with crappy dogs years ago and has upped her game and is doing the due diligence. There's a guy in Florida. His name is Rick Macknick. Rick, I hope I'm spelling your name right. He has Jotunheim. I was going to breed that Jotunheim dog. He has Jotunheim lines. He had a dog that was 12 years old that sired a litter of 9 puppies out of Jotunheim. So Rick Macknick, I think it's Macnic. He's on Facebook, and he's a highly reputable breeder. Samantha Akers, Acres, also has Jotunheim dogs. These are very healthy, long-lived dogs, and they're working lines. They're very healthy. Shalane Dobermans, Sheilan, I think so. Shelley Wing, forgive me if I spelled that wrong. Shelley Wing is a rock star, as far as I'm concerned, as a show breeder. I haven't met her, but she's a part of the Doberman VGL group. She has a dog named Spock that has tons of longevity. She's doing all the right things, and she's part of the Doberman Pinscher group. She's one of the few people in that group that I actually like, and I think she's a good person. Val Stevenson has Sun Country Dobermans in Northern California. She currently co-owns a dog that they have a litter right now. And I don't know if any of them are available, but there's show and non-show puppies there, and they're related to Boo Boo. It's out of her red dog that I wanted to breed Phoebe to, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Val. I'm sorry if that's not the case. But she has through Aaron Roth, has a lovely litter right now on the ground. They co-own it, and that's a litter of puppies available right now that I would highly recommend. My friend Tina Garrett, she doesn't have any puppies right now, but she will. And she has Desert Mountain Dobermans here in Arizona. Marvel Kennels down in Tucson, Sierra Vista, Katie Estrada, amazing woman, amazing dogs, Doberman breeder, doing working line dogs, just an amazing breeder. Marvel Kennels, she has black market Marvel goats and Dobermans in Sierra Vista, Arizona. There was somebody else I was going to mention that came to mind. I can't think of it at this moment. But Daystar Dobermans in Texas. Her name is Tamara Estes. She only has a website. You have to call her off of her number. She's been breeding since 2000, and she's created about 1,000 puppies. And I asked her the other day, I said, how many do you think honestly have actually died of DCM? She said, oh my gosh, maybe 10? They kind of all make it into their teens, and maybe cancer or something. So daystardobermans.com. She has a website. She's in Texas. Kayla Wallwork, I don't know what her website is, but if you PM'd me, Kayla Wallwork is also in Texas. She might have something. These are all people that are participating in this Doberman Diversity, betterbred.com. They go to Doberman DCM. They know the same data and information that I do, and they're using it to breed. We may disagree on things, but I think they're ethical, and you would be a safe bet to get a dog from one of them as well. So I hope this helps.